1 year ago today, we did our first YouTube video, and believe it or not, we were on 2 subscribers, and today we are on just under 15,000. Yes, from 2, yes, we've grown nicely to 15,000 or just thereabouts. And there's a great quote in my book, and I'm going to read it because it's relevant to crypto, to trading, to everything else. It's from Confucius. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. One video at a time, we built a great community, and hopefully you've got some amazing value. And I want to quickly do a recap of a couple of things, because our first ever video was on Bitcoin. And what we said with Bitcoin, this was back in April 19th, 2021. You'll see the date down here. And in April, we said we're likely to have seen a top with Bitcoin, something called a end of wave, fifth wave diagonal, and expecting a pretty big correction. And then what happened with the market? Well, this is what happened with the market. Check this out. Right, so our first video was pretty much bang on point. And then we did something similar in October. It was October 26th, my wife's birthday. This is my wife's birthday, October 26th, 2021. And said something similar. Said, like, look, Bitcoin looks like it's going to make one more leg to the upside, and then we should anticipate a correction to the downside. And then what happened? Well, what happened was this. Look at this. So it's pretty bang on, right? And the reason it's bang on is because we use something very, very simple called Elliott Wave and Fibonacci to read the market psychology like a pro. So we're always one step ahead as opposed to 2 steps behind. And most individuals that are looking and speculating on the market are 2 steps behind. So if you like my content over the last 12 months, I appreciate you helping me get over 15,000 subscribers, where we're almost there. And hopefully in the year 2022 and beyond, I can bring even more value to you. And if you don't know me by now, my name is Jiggy. I'm the award-winning author of The Extraordinary New Venture Capital Opportunity, How to Invest Like a Pro. Been featured in the best-selling book, High Probability Trading Strategies, back in 2008, where I only used to focus on trading currencies, but now exclusive on cryptocurrency. So what we're going to do today is go into a live Bitcoin chart and look at the macro. And we need to be really, really hyper aware of what's happening right now, looking at the human psychology element. So this was the top that we projected. This was my first video back in April. This was the November top that we projected, and we're pretty much bang on, right? And there was 3 main things that we were really, really focused on when I was looking at the analysis. Pattern position. So we're looking at the Elliott Wave pattern, and it's one of the best ways of reading the markets of what's likely to occur next. Combining Fibonacci ratios, that's really, really important, really, really powerful. But then also the momentum. What's the momentum indicators telling us that gives us valuable information of what's the highly probable outcome? And looking at this market, a highly probable outcome, keep it really, really simple today, whether we like it or not. It looks like Bitcoin is definitely on a downward trend, and the momentum is down, and we are more than likely going to see a continuation to possibly 28,000 and maybe even lower. So we need to be hyper aware of this. And by the date, we're talking about mid-June to early July. So what I believe is likely to happen, and again, this will impact the rest of the markets, is sideways to down and then a little bit up as in a correction, and then a continuation to the downside. And this would normally occur in a 5-wave style structure, something like this, that would occur like this. So just want to be aware on the macro, we've got this downward trend. We've had this correction, ABC, because the markets tend to move in 5s and 3s, and then likely we are going to see this. So it might be a scary time in terms of if you've got a portfolio and you know that Bitcoin does influence the rest of the market. There'll be some outliers where we'll probably see some bullish activity in between the waves as well. That's just natural. But as a macro viewpoint on Bitcoin, this is what's likely to occur. So you want to prep yourself and just be ready for this. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. It just means it's highly, highly probable based on momentum, pattern, and price. That's the psychological mood that we're seeing. But the good news, we'll end this on the good news. After a 3-wave correction to the downside, what we should anticipate is a continuation to the upside. a resumption of the trend prior to the correction. And the trend prior to this big correction was up. So the trend was up. We can even say it like this, up is looking like we are doing this ABC macro trend correction. And then we should see a continuation and break all-time new highs. So the second half of the year should be potentially high probability, should be very, very bullish for Bitcoin and the entire crypto market. So 2 points that you want to take away from today. One is just be hyper aware of this phase here, sideways to down. Just be, do what you need to do to protect yourself from the downside, or psychologically at least just know what's likely to occur. And then in the post mid-June, going into July, August, September, October, November, and even December, more than likely we're going to see some serious optimism arrive back into the market, and it'll be similar, my guess, based on the probability, it'll be similar to January, February, March, and early April of 2021, where we'll get 4, 5, maybe even 6 months of some serious bullish behavior, because we've been in a sideways to down movement since pretty much April. So it's been literally a year, almost a year. We've had ups and downs in between, but it's been down, up, and then now it looks like really, really down, and then possibly looking for a continuation to the upside. So if you want to learn how to read the markets, how we already pegged Bitcoin's top in October, and before that, my first ever video, how we really pegged this top in April 2021, there's method to the madness, and I'm going to highly encourage you to take my free Elite Wave Fibonacci Masterclass, which covers in depth the 3 key rules that you need to know, and then how to, with the price pattern, how to combine Fibonacci ratios. And if you end up buying one of my courses, we've got a 90% discount at the moment. You'll get an invite to my private Telegram. We do weekend workshops, so you will get me to do basically technical analysis on your coins, because it applies not only to Bitcoin and the major coins, but also the mid caps, the micro caps. But it's best when there's lots of volume. So if you like today's content and the content over the last 12 months, what's been your favorite? What's been your absolute favorite over the last 12 months? Because we've done a video, at least a video a day for 12 months straight. Let me know in the comments below. And subscribe, help me get over 15,000 subscribers. And let's finish on a quote. The quote of the day is going to be I think it was chapter 4. Chapter 4. No, it was chapter 5. Chapter 5, right, is Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. So have a system that you can keep simple, consistent, and make it easy to execute. And we'll also finish on that same quote, the same quote, which is Confucius, I believe it was. It has been my observation that most people get ahead whilst, no. Confucius was, it does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop. So whether you're learning how to read the markets, again, just even if it's 10, 20, 30 minutes a day, every day, that time adds up over a course of a year. And after a year, you'll just be on a different level to what you are today. So it's about that consistency. So it does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop, because crypto, blockchain is here to stay. It's revolutionizing the world, but it's really going to be seeing over the next 5 to 10 years, not the next 12 months, because it's still very, very early in its whole life cycle as a technology, like the internet was back in 1995. So thank you for supporting me over the last 12 months. Subscribe to the channel. We've got loads more value in 2022 and beyond to bring to you. So I appreciate you, and I'll see you very soon.